Hate. We got to stop the hate. We live in a country that's a huge melting pot in pockets of the United States of America. And we live in a world where we are never going to fully understand each other. I, honestly, we don't even. But why do people walk around with so much hatred in their hearts? For the life of me, I just don't understand why people walk around. We're talking about O'Shea Sid. Make sure I get his name correct. O'Shea Sibley. O'Shea Sibley is a homosexual. Was a homosexual gentleman that loved to dance, and because of his sexuality, he was dancing while pumping gas at a gas station in Brooklyn. When some guys came out of the blue and told them to stop dancing. So these guys proceeded to defend themselves, because when you are experiencing hatred, one of the things you want to do in life is defend yourself. But it didn't go as planned, because these guys, because Mr. O'Shea was fatally stabbed. So let's play this video and let's go from here.
Say they know who they're looking for in the deadly stabbing of a beloved dancer, and they could be getting close to an arrest. Police now investigating O'Shea Sibley's death as a hate crime. The 28-year-old was killed over the weekend at a Brooklyn gas station.
CBS 2's Naveen Dhaliwal is live in Midwood with the latest on this. Naveen?
Now, those who knew Sibley are absolutely stunned by this senseless crime and the fact that an argument could turn deadly. Beck Hamilton lit a candle for his close friend, O'Shea Sibley.
But it's just something just to say he was here.
The 28-year-old was his neighbor for 3 years, a bond that grew into a brotherhood.
I'm still in shock. Each time I go, every time I hear the door, I keep looking to see O'Shea come up.
It was Saturday, seen in surveillance video, was dancing while pumping gas at this mobile station on Coney Island Avenue. Investigators say he got into an argument with a man who made homophobic comments. It became heated and then took a deadly turn.
He pulled out a knife and he just stabbed him and he ran away.
The loss of Sibley to a possible hate crime is now stunning his neighborhood.
He shows his colors up. He's not afraid of that. But he doesn't go out there and say, oh, I'm this and that. But as soon as you see me, you don't have to ask. It's a proud gay man.
Many remembering him for his dance moves, his laughter, and his friendship.
He had to come out there dancing happy, going to the store happy, go over there happy.
A spokesperson for the Ailey organization where he was a participant said in a statement in part, O'Shea had an incredible energy in the studio and was loved by instructors and fellow students. A good, kind soul gone too soon.
So angry. I'm really angry. And the mere fact is that's a life lost over a simple thing. They could have just argued, they could have talked and just left.
And as far as that suspect, police say they have injured before he's caught.
Now, I want them to catch them and get them off of the streets. You know, a lot of people come from all walks of lives. And in some countries, being a homosexual is a crime. You know, it is a crime. And honestly, I'm not here to talk about people's traditions, religions, but you can't come in America and think you can behave like you do in other countries. You could be first generation, second generation. You could do anything you want to do, but you got to understand that people experience hate in different perspectives and ways of lives. And although I'm a heterosexual man, I don't dislike or disrespect gay people. They got every right to be here just like everybody else. I'm never going to go party with a gay person. I'm never going to go hang out with a gay person. That's just not my bag. But these people have every right to be here. O'Shea Sibley was at a Brooklyn gas station with his friends late Saturday night, filling up a car and blasting music by Beyonce, who paid tribute to O'Shea, by the way. She paid tribute to this gentleman when a group of men approached and told them to stop dancing. You don't have a right to tell people what to do. Who do you think you are? You can't tell people to do with their lifestyle. The men began using slurs, and Mr. Sibley, 28, a gay man, was a professional dancer and a choreographer, confronted them, according to his friends, and a video of the altercation. It's like when cameras on people, they don't even care no more. They don't even care. They act like the cameras are not there. It's like we're gonna do what we're gonna do. Like if I want to do a crime, I at least want to be on the run for a year. These people are caught within 48 hours. 48, 72 hours you caught. I don't want to be no criminal, but at least if I want to be a criminal, I want to be on the streets at least for a year. Yeah, I did the crime, but it took you a year to catch me. 72 hours you off the streets for the rest of your life. The argument escalated and one man stabbed Mr. Sibley, according to the police. Otis Pena, one of Mr. Sibley's best friends, pressed on his wound to stop the bleeding before Mr. Sibley was taken to, I'm not from New York, so I don't know how to pronounce that, medical center, where he pronounced deleted. The deletion, they deleted him because he was gay, because he stood up for his friends. Mr. Pena said in a Facebook video that he posted hours after the deletion. His name was O'Shea, and you killed him. You all deleted him right in front of me. Now, you probably honestly scarred his friends because of this. No arrests have been made as of yet, but I can guarantee you whoever did this will not have a peaceful night. They just won't. But the police said that the hate crimes unit was involved in the investigation. And this was happen. If you fight a gay person or a person that believes in, LGBTQ, and you fighting, you can't call them a slur, because if you do that, then that's going to be a crime. Now, Mr. O'Shea was taken away from his friends, and that's just not a good thing. So they said no arrest has been made, and I just said as of now, but the police said that the hate crimes unit was involved. The police said Tuesday that they were seeking a young man in his late teens in connection with the deletion, which took place on Coney Island Avenue in Midwood. The deletion has devastated Mr. Sibley's family. He was one of 11 siblings and unnerved the city's gay community. While the motive remains under investigation, attack was a reminder of the biasness that the LGBTQ people face. The Anti-Defamation League and the advocacy group GLAAD issued a report in June indicating an increase in harassment and violence against gay and transgender people. including online bullying, gatherings of armed protesters outside drag shows, and bomb threats against hospitals that provide gender transition care. In the first 3 weeks of June, there were 101 such incidents, more than twice the number during the same time period the year before. Brad, a gay senator, state senator in New York, said he was heartbroken in a rage over Mr. Sibley's killing. Gay joy is not a crime, he said on Twitter. Hate-fueled attacks are. Mr. Sibley had moved from Philadelphia before the pandemic, hoping New York would provide more auditions and opportunities, said an aunt, Tandra Sibley, who's 49. It was a senseless crime, she said. O'Shea has always been a peacemaker, and all he wanted to do was dance. She recalled him as a small boy, gyrating and jerking to Missy Elliott. When he got older, he honed his skills at the Philadelphia Dance Academy and, on the advice of instructors, began ballet and taking advantage of his long athletic frame. Kamar Jewell, a 31-year-old choreographer and director, met Mr. Sibley in Philadelphia 13 years ago at the Attic Youth Center, where gay teenagers could go for after-school programs and activities. They were only a few years apart, but Mr. Sibley saw him as a mentor. He was like, "You're my uncle. I'm going to call you Mr. Uncle," Mr. Jewell said. Goofy and fun-loving Mr. Sibley was serious about his craft. We hunkered down on Mrs. Jewell's apartment until 3 a.m. to study dance videos before voguing to the modern techniques introduced by Martha Graham and Lester Horton, American dancers and choreographers born around the turn of the 20th century. Mr. O'Shea was so well-versed. He was great at tap, ballet, hip-hop, Mr. Jewell said. He was an incredible visual learner, and I've seen him watch someone do something twice and just do it. Mr. Jewell, who is in London working on the show, said he was sleeping on Sunday morning when Mr. Pena called to tell him what had happened. At the gas station, Mr. Sibley and his friends have been playing Renaissance by Beyonce and voguing, a style of dance that began as an imitation of fashion models in the 1980s and has evolved as an expression of pride and protest. That's when the group of men approached, calling them names, Mr. Jewell said, recalling the account of Mr. Pena, who could not be reached for comment. Both Mr. Sibley and Mr. Pena told them, "Stop saying that. There's nothing wrong with being gay." Mr. Sibley fought with them, and he was stabbed as Mr. Pena ran to intervene, Mr. Jewell said. At the Bronzeville building, where Mr. Sibley lived alone in the studio, his neighbor, Buckenbar Hamilton, 51, said he had warned the younger men against being so open about his sexuality. Mr. Hamilton, who is also gay, recalled attacks he had suffered in his 20s when was going out to clubs, and said he was recently been overhearing comments on the street about all the rights gay people have. O'Shea wasn't afraid of being who he was, Mr. Hamilton said. He would defend his friends. They loved dancing and delighted in drawing a crowd. But I see how people looked at them, Mr. Hamilton said. There was a worry in the back of my mind. So, like I said again, it just a sad set of circumstances. What happened to Mr. Sibley, and the people who did this, they need to be apprehended and possibly serve the rest of their life in jail. And I don't care if they're teenagers. You need to reap what you sow. Leave people alone and let people do their business. This is America. This is America. So this is Antonio with Team Tiggio. Please like, comment, subscribe. Subscribe to this channel. We are growing, and we will see you in the next video.